Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you listen to this. Why choose Realty Trust Services LLC? There are 5 reasons. Now, we have other reasons as well, okay? But sometimes you have to niche in. You have to really focus on why in a narrow phase. Also, it's hard for you to wrap your mind around it. It's hard for someone else. If you have 100 reasons, then it's just like, that is the reason. You have 100 reasons. 5 reasons, that might be few enough that you can wrap your mind around each individual reason, okay? And those are a little bit more, each one, an individual reason hits home. And so, why would you need to know this? Well, you are working in the company and having a kind of a sense of corporate identity, like what is unique about us, is important. Obviously, you need to know that about yourself as well, by the way. And that's part of something that strikes to the last of these, growing prosperity, understanding yourself. It all starts with you, right? Before you can be part of anything else and have some sense of purpose, you have to have a personal sense of purpose. Relentless focuses on reducing vacancy cost. And so when you really look at like the biggest, most important cost that owners deal with, we've identified that and then said, we're going to do the hard work to reduce that. So there's a number of things that we do on that. And they have to do with, if you go into here, there's all these processes that touch the vacancy process. Okay? And so if you look at the leasing process, we have a vacancy process. Leasing is kind of within vacancy. The retention process, even how we do compliance, within vacancy, utilities, all these things, they actually touch the vacancy process, even how we collect in vacancy, right? These all touch vacancy. And so having that kind of relentless focus, everything, a big part of what we do, now there's givens, things that we just have to do, but ultimately reducing vacancy is a huge part of what we do. And you realizing that as a team member is really important. Because you're going to see, when you understand, not just here, but it starts to become, it gets repeated in your mind so much that you kind of get it here, and then you're in the middle of something, and you're like, this affects vacancy negatively. I know that vacancy is important. Let me see what I can do to do my part to relentlessly focus on reducing vacancy cost. Right? So that's why we're going over after this. The guarantee package. Now, it's important for you to know the guarantee package, not just, if an owner asks you about it, but the guarantee package, by the way, is found on the pricing page. We have a new pricing page that's not quite done yet, so I'm going to that now, but by the time you watch this, there's a good chance that you will have seen it. So I try to personalize this, just like we always have this thing that gives people some sense of identity. Try to put on everybody's email. So I'll give a little note here, a little picture. This is me, and I try to let the same values that I have personally be part of the business to some extent. Okay, obviously not to the full extent, but while others hide their pricing, we think you are smart enough to delineate between cost and value. Here's the pricing. Why are we here? Growing prosperity protection bundles. Growing prosperity, peace of mind, freedom guarantee. This is really the thing that anytime you want to leave, you can. And we'll refund your last management fee. Okay? And so, in the move out, that's kind of a new thing. We didn't offer that. We just let you go. Deposit collected in agreed period for your plan, or we waive 1 month's management fee. So, in the base plan, it's 30 days. As people sign up for these other plans, which no one has yet, 21 days, 15 days, that's something that'll have to be managed within the system that we have. So as we run into it, we'll add it to the system. Growing prosperity rental make ready guarantee. Home, this is important for if you're in maintenance especially, but everybody should know this. Home made ready in agreed time for being vacant or 10% discount, exception if cost is more than $1,500. Agreed time is 14 days, 10 days, 7 days. Okay, so we're just going to move forward. That's one of the reasons why we can move forward is we give this guarantee and say, hey, not only do we have opportunity to move forward, but if we don't, we're responsible. So therefore, we have to move forward even without your approval. That makes sense. Many of these work into our processes. Growing Prosperity tenant guarantee. Again, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. Okay, it's no longer a prorated warranty like it used to be. It used to be prorated by the year. That's all. So we give you a little bit higher proration, and basically this means that we fill the property for free, no leasing fee, if tenant moves out for any reason the first year. Call or email back by end of next business day or 50% refund on one management fee. So this is a communication guarantee. The pet guarantee is something that most of you guys know about, but essentially $2,000, $3,500, or $5,000 in cost, depending on which profile you are. When we rent, and we charge the fee for a pet, not for another animal. Call or email back by end of the next business day or 50% refund on one management fee. Your building is registered. That's a big one, guys. Communication. Okay, so you have to return calls even if you don't have an answer. Okay, you have to return an email right away, really, and say, hey, working on this, or hey, sent this over. And I see a lot of people respond internally, and then I'm like, dude, that person does not know you responded. They need to know we're working on it. Okay, extremely important. So these warranties, this is 3 of Y, or 2. It's number 2. These are really important. Owners should know about them. Most of them don't, because most of them signed up before we really advertise these. City compliance, Growing Prosperity compliance repairs guarantee. So again, and probably we're going to end up moving towards not even estimating a lot of the compliance repairs if we think they're going to be under a certain thing. It's just too many. For City and Section 8, we just do it at an hourly basis and get it done. Growing Prosperity but there's stuff like concrete, which we don't even have hourly people to do. There's definitely large set costs. Not sure I want to take that risk. So in general, we're going to try to move forward though on these. Growing Prosperity winter freeze guarantee. Again, no one has taken us up on our smart home systems. We haven't really clearly offered them, but again, it's probably one of the next steps is to offer that. And make sure we charge enough that we can pay for our own figuring it out. Legal fees and court appearance fees are covered for eviction up to $5,000. So if you pay $19 a month, we'll cover that. But in these plans, it's automatically covered. So you can update your plan. Growing Prosperity eviction, loss, rent, and damage coverage. So we'll pay up to $2,500 in lost rent if you have this coverage. Most people don't. So if you have these 2 coverages, you might as well be under this, under this plan. And in reality, this plan very well might be better for many people, especially if it's a higher end house, where basically you're not paying really a leasing fee. It's just a flat rate fee. So, okay. I'm not going to go over the pricing page here. And my time is up actually to do this video. So we'll go real quickly. NASA Inspire processes. Really important you know these processes. You should know everybody's process. You'd be able to explain it to somebody, right? Where you could literally spend half an hour and go through each of these, because that's what's going to help you be better at your process. A big part of being efficient in a process is making sure the process does no harm to others. So as you're working in real time, you're going to find that you can just make slight changes that make a world of difference to the person next to you doing the next part of the process that you hand off to. But being able to understand this is we build this as a NASA inspired process because Andy Morris worked for NASA and he went to school for electrical engineering. So he's a geek. Best rated. So we have the highest rating in terms of property management company our size or bigger. with more, even property management companies 5 times our size, 6 times, 7 times our size, don't have the number of ratings or this rating. So a lot of them have 2 or 3 ratings and they'll have an okay rating. Other times, but most of them have 3.0, 3.5 rating. Growing prosperity. We realize that people and relationships are the most important thing. We can't do all things to all people, but we choose to develop and coach the people that our organization comes in contact, from tenants to buyers to sellers to investors, management clients. So this is something that's new. This is part of the initiative, even shooting this video. But we're kind of launching this Growing Pro Club. It's not quite all up, but it is getting there. Haven't even made the video. We'll make that video soon. We're gonna add some testimonials, add a little bit more information on the assessment, the assessment that we give for free, and more. So, all right.